Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's been a little while since I've uploaded anything, but let's go ahead and let's get to it. About a year ago, I received a Facebook message the day before Valentine's Day reading, "Are we still on for tomorrow?" It was from some guy I went to middle school with, and I haven't seen him in 3 years. A little confused, I asked back, "What are you talking about?" He proceeded to tell me the plans we had made to hook up if we were both single. The problem with this is that I never made those plans. Initially, I was more outraged than worried. I continued to ask questions as to why this boy I haven't seen in years thought I would hook up with him. He told me that he had been chatting with me on Twitter and we'd been flirting with each other. This is when I started to freak out. Someone was pretending to be me online. I asked for the Twitter handle. The user had recently been deleted. I asked him if anything else was going on, and he sent me nudes of myself. The pictures were photoshopped with naked women and my face on their bodies. I took this to the police and they basically brushed me off, asking if I had a rival girl at school or flirted with somebody's boyfriend. Basically just asking if I was some kind of pretty girl in high school. What's worrying me now is that Valentine's Day is coming up fast, and I haven't spoken to that person since. When I was in high school, I lived in a really small town in Texas. It was kind of the place where everyone was either related to each other or hated each other. I had no family there, so yeah. But I did have a pretty blonde girlfriend, and was pretty hated for that too. Nothing major, just petty harassment, occasional fights, but it had been escalating. So that's why on Valentine's Day, my girlfriend and I decided to skip school and just stay in and watch a movie at her house while her parents went out. Just better to avoid trouble. We borrowed her dad's car, a little Honda hatchback, and went into town. We stopped at the video game store for a movie and went to the Dairy Queen for some ice cream, and then headed home. Now, she lives in the complete boonies, out in the middle of nowhere, in the woods, along with a lonely road with no street lights. We're chatting, eating our blizzards, when all of a sudden a car comes up behind us. No big deal. What was a very big deal was that when the headlights flooded the interior of our car, I saw two hands on the back seat and a head coming from the hatchback part of the car. As soon as the lights hit, the head and the hands retreated back down. A solid chill ran through my entire length of my body. I slowly reached down and pulled out my pocket knife, the only thing I had. She saw me and asked, "What's wrong?" Loudly, I said, "Nothing. I just have to stop at my friend's house real quick." She knew that was bullshit. I didn't have any friends. I pulled over at the next house that came up and jumped out of the car yelling at her to jump out too. She jumped out in total confusion. I flipped the driver's seat forward and lunged into the back seat, full manic mode. He popped up like a jack-in-the-box with empty hands waving, hey, what are y'all up to tonight?" It was some weird kid from our high school who we had never in our entire lives spoken to before. I said, "What the holy fuck are you doing in our car?" His reply was, "I thought you guys were going to the dance. I was just trying to hitch a ride." We sat there staring at him with our mouths open, wondering what to do. He tried to act real cool, and obviously we were in the middle of nowhere in some random person's driveway, so whatever he was planning was forgotten. We actually ended up driving him to the dance and dropping him off. The whole time he was telling us to come inside with him. Yeah, no. We dropped his ass off and noped out of there as soon as we could. As soon as he got out of my car, my girlfriend started crying and shaking. She was so freaked out. I have no idea what he was trying to do when the lights caught him crawling out the hatchback. Oh, I fucking hated that high school. About 2 years ago, I was going shopping for a Valentine's gift for my girlfriend since I thought it would be a nice gesture. The walk to the store from where I lived was about 5 to 10 minutes. It was around 8 p.m., so I just wanted to get home. I was walking in the road because there's next to no cars going down, and I didn't feel like going through the park. I was approaching the park when I realized I was being followed. I thought nothing of it at first, so I just kept walking. Then he gets closer, and when he walks past me, I hear, "Hey, kid." I was shocked, but I wanted to ignore him, so I kept walking. Then he said it again, but a bit more violently. "Hey, kid." So I just turned around, and this guy was in pissing distance from me. Now, I'm 6'1", and this man was a bit taller than me. He then tried to set up a conversation like, "How's your night?" I felt a bit relieved and kind of thought poorly of myself for judging him so soon. I was right to assume it though. He then tries to keep the conversation going and then proceeds to ask, "Where are you going?" And I just said, "The store." He then walked up to a car and said, "I can give you a ride." I said, "No thank you. I can walk from here." He kept asking that same question, and then he said, "What about car surfing?" He then tried to show me what it was. I still declined. This guy was really creeping me out. I was still walking down the road while this was happening, and he was following me. Thankfully, I was reaching the store, and he left me alone, for now. So when I went into the store, I got a candy heart chocolate box and a teddy bear. I was walking back home when I saw the guy again. The weird part was he was following me from the other side. I feel like he waited for me just to come walking by again. This was starting to scare me a bit. Then he yelled, "Hey!" I was getting pretty scared at the moment. I then turned around. This guy was 6'5" and weighed a lot more than me. Being hesitant, I turned around. Now this guy started jogging his way over to me. And then I noticed something was off. The car was gone, meaning this guy either walked here or he wasn't alone. I acted oblivious, like I didn't know the car was gone. He tried starting another conversation. I was really uncomfortable with the first time, so I just said, "I really need to get back." And I started walking a bit faster on the fastest way home, which was through an alley. When I was going through, he was gone, and I was thankful. But when I was walking down the alley, I don't know what it was, but I saw the same car that he was claiming was his. When I went home, I wanted to know more about this guy. I looked online for something about him, and there was nothing. I wanted to know about the car. I didn't believe for a second it was his, so I looked it up, and it was reported as stolen. I didn't think much of it, but reported it just in case. I wasn't sure if they found it or if they ever found the guy in general. I hope I never have to deal with him again.